it grew into something massive now to where I'm receiving 100% of this company's work. Um, they alone pay me like 80 grand a year. Like we're doing very, very well with them.
All right, everybody, this is Judd. He is absolutely crushing it right now. He's over in Utah, and we've been working together for what, like 3 months now, 3 months, something like that. And yeah, we're just gonna hop into it. I got a few questions for you, man. Thank you for your time today. Where I always like to start all this stuff is one of my favorite questions that in the entire world. I get it asked all of the time, and it actually starts with why we started our businesses in the first place. And something that I always get, and I kind of love talking about is like when I first started my business. I had a goal of trying to make like $5,000. I was like young. I was like, I want to make 5,000. That'd be pretty cool. And I look back in that and I kind of laugh a little bit because I'm like, wow, like man, that like perspective changes like crazy. So talk to me a little bit about why you started your business and sort of what your goal was, and now like where you're at now. What's your current goal, and talk to me a little bit about that sort of difference there.
Yeah, absolutely. I appreciate you having me. And so to start off, basically, I was taking college courses, doing a few entrepreneurship courses, and I learned some really cool things about entrepreneurship. One of my favorite quotes that I live by today is "Salary is the drug they give you to forget your dreams," and that is a Kevin O'Leary quote from Shark Tank. He there definitely is an inspiration. I've always wanted to be an entrepreneur, set my own hours, be able to make as much money as I want to. When I first opened the business, it was very slow. I had a goal of like the minimum of 30 grand for the whole year, a few $1,000 a month to get me by. I wasn't married. Um, as business started to pick up, we ended up cutting over six figures within our first full year, and it's awesome because we're not even through year two yet. We're just getting into second full year, and our goals are basically to make well over 200K, 300K. The best part about it all is I'm 90% profit. Uh, I
Nice.
I don't have to hardly pay anybody. Um, you just got it when you get it figured out. It's the best part of it all. So yeah,
Yeah, 100%, dude. I totally resonate with that. I love that feeling where I always say with my business partner, we always kind of talk about how we feel like we live like 5 years in one year, right? Because you're always growing and you're always
absolutely.
like you look back like a month later and you're like, oh my God, like I can't believe that this is where I'm at now with the new things that I'm looking at. But that's unbelievable. You touched on something there that we've joked about in the past in some of our meetings, which is I think I've told you this before, but I kind of put people into three different buckets. And one of those buckets is like the grinders. The other people are sort of right place, right time, lucky-ish people who kind of hit it right off the gate. And then you're in that third bucket, which is people who are really good at building relationships. And that's a skill that I have a little bit, but I've never met anyone who's good as it as you are. Talk to me a little bit about that because that's kind of like the magic stuff that I see with you, where you always seem to be in the right room with the right person or saying the right things to people and getting people to like you. Do you feel like that has helped you grow your business? Do you feel like that's something that is natural in you? Are you working on that? And maybe a kind of funny story around that sort of stuff.
Yeah, no, so relationships is everything. I mean, you're gonna hear that all the time. Relationships is key, but the biggest thing is you got to make everyone feel like they're your best friend. You got to go walking into a place like you already know the person, you know them by name, and you just get to know them. You with a handshake to start it all, right?
Yeah.
You walk in with a handshake, you go out with a hug, and I mean, really, that's how it goes. When people can see that you're friends with them and that you're willing to bend over backwards and do things, not only as a business partner but as a friend, they're gonna give you more business, and then they're gonna give you the referrals, right?
Yeah.
It started off really with who I knew. My business started with a smaller company that grew to a bigger company. Like they're massive now, and because we formed this relationship from so many years, it grew into something massive now to where I'm receiving 100% of this company's work. They alone pay me like 80 grand a year. Like we're doing very, very well with them. And the best part about it all is now it's a network. So
Yeah.
starting with that little company, and now we've got 150 agents that we work with consistently, and they're all like our best friend. They all look at Millen Media Solutions as the company to go to for the good photography, the quick turnaround times, but not only that, it's the good relationships, and even better, it just goes a long way if you're looking to get good reviews on Google. it's a lot easier to get those when you're just
Yeah,
friends with them, right? You're not just a business
100%.
partner, you're friends.
Yeah, 100%, dude. Talk to me about your opinions on marketing. How do you get people to know you? How do you get people to trust you? What do you think's important there?
So there, with what I've done, I think this kind of goes back to this to that second question about relationships. Trust goes in with friendship, right? Um, there are a lot of agents, real estate agents, and a lot of my clients out there when they're first booking with me. The first time they book with me, they'll call me up and they'll say, "Look, we've got a property that is very important to us, that is fragile, like it's their like precious baby, right? They're like,
Hmm.
this is everything to us. We trust you, right? So like in order to build that trust, you have to build the relationship first. You got to get to know them. You got to call them, right? You got to get cold calls. Don't be afraid to get out and just start talking,
Yeah.
right? But my marketing, really, I haven't even put a lot. I probably hardly any money at all into advertising. It's all word of mouth, cold calls, and especially like CRM type stuff where drip campaigns start.
Hmm. Absolutely, dude. Absolutely. Talk to me about how you handle all of the decisions that you have to make as a business owner, because you have to make thousands every single week. Do you make those off of feeling, off of data, off of just seeing what's worked in the past? And do you ever get exhausted of all of those decisions that you're making, or is it something that you enjoy doing as you are growing your business?
Yeah, so that's a really good question. I'm a religious person. I'm close to God, and so if I'm like really confused, I just take it straight to God, and through that's through prayer, like really.
Yeah.
And I just and it's a feeling. I get gut feelings of if I think that this is gonna be good, I'm gonna go with it. If my gut feeling says no, don't do it, then I don't do that. Something that's really helped me is I'll have like you said, I'll have 100 different tasks that I've got to take care of in a week. And the best thing that I've learned to do is literally to just write each one of them down and take one at a time.
Yeah.
And for those things that I don't know right away, dude, again, take it to God. I mean, he's the
Love
one.
it.
He's running my business. So
100%, dude.
yeah.
What's something you're super excited about right now in terms of business?
Um, Currently, we're obtaining multiple agencies, real estate agencies. And when I say obtaining, I mean we're growing relationships with so many people all at once. I feel that, yeah, it's a competition, but honestly, sometimes it doesn't even feel competitive. It's not hard anymore. When
Yeah.
you get your foot in the door with somebody good in the industry, you're gonna just go out there and kick ass. So, um, yeah, really just expanding. That's what I'm most excited about is just to
Yeah.
continue to grow. So.
Awesome. So you mentioned that it comes easy, and I see that when I'm working with you. What do you think separates you, makes you unique and superior to everyone else that you're, kind of relatively competing against?
That's funny you asked that. My parents always tell me I'm different because I can talk to people like they're all my best friends. It kind of goes back to that relationships thing.
Yeah.
Um, I can walk in the door and just start talking to someone like I've known them for years, right?
Oh yeah.
Make buddies with them, right? That's just the biggest thing. If you want to set yourself apart, make someone feel important, regardless of the situation you're in, and it's gonna go a long way. You're gonna get a lot of feedback and a lot of good outcomes from it.
I love it, dude. I love it, dude. What's been your favorite part about working with us over the last 3 months?
Oh gosh, by far, just the one-on-one.
Yeah.
I so, and I should have said this in the previous question, but some of the hardest tasks I've had, I'm just able to call you guys, like
Yeah.
straight up talk to you, Matt. Like I'll call you on the phone. And the cool thing is it's not like you're ever super busy. So
Hmm.
we've been able to just call and talk whenever. Um, the other awesome part about it all is I've been able to learn how to set up email campaigns, the drip campaigns and the CRM. I
Hmm.
never thought I would have been able to get that stuff as easily.
I love it, dude. Well, you're super easy to talk to, just like you said. I love meeting with you, dude. You're fucking crushing it. Something that I always kind of joke around about is because I'm working with a lot of different companies, right? And the people that really stand out to me are the ones that truly believe in themselves, but also believe in their business. And no, like deep down, it reminds me of me, where it's like my time horizon is I'm doing this, right? It's not 2 weeks, not 3 weeks. It's like, this is my company and I'm going to crush at this.
Mhm.
That's you to me. Like, that's why I feel like I love working with you. Do you feel as though you relate to that? Do you feel as though that you 100% take ownership of this is who I am, this is my business, and I know I'm going to succeed, and I'm not going to second guess any problem or failure or success that I have because this is just what I'm doing. Do you relate to that at
Oh,
all?
absolutely, absolutely. And that goes a long way. Confidence is super key. I completely for there was a good while there, good few months, even potentially the first year of my business where the confidence wasn't all the way there. I felt like I started at a low, and it wasn't easy to just feel like I'm on top of the world all of a sudden. But I'll tell you what, when you do have the confidence, even if you have to kind of fake it in front of people and you kind of have to tell people like, hey, I'm the best, even though you may not be the best, you may have somebody that's better than you.
Yeah,
You go in with that confidence and people are gonna look at you and be like, dude, this guy is sweet. Like I'm
100%.
gonna go with this guy because he knows what he's talking about.
Yeah,
Right?
100%, dude. So, a couple more questions, but this is something that I love talking about, which is I'm sure you've gotten this before, right? So when you're an entrepreneur and you're growing your business, I will hear sometimes from people in my life, like people I'm really close to, like my girlfriend and my best friends and things like that. They'll just have a conversation of like, oh, there's so much risk involved in being an entrepreneur. There's so much risk involved there. And I think it's so funny because I look at them and I go, I think what you're doing is riskier, right? And they don't really relate to that. And really what they're saying is like, well, you don't know where your next paycheck's going to come from. You don't know what's going to happen, all that stuff. But to
Right.
me, we have direct relationships to like if we make money it's because of what we do, right? So we have a direct say in sort of how successful that we are, and I
Absolutely.
don't deem that as risky. I actually deem that as risk adverse. I feel like that's the least risky thing you can do because I'm putting it into my own hands, right? And the reason I'm saying all this is because people talk about failure sometimes, but
Mhm.
I don't think on if you the definition of the world, I probably failed 10 times today. I've probably failed 20,000 times in the last year, but I don't look at it as failure. I look at it as this
Right.
happened, I learned, and now I'm going to succeed. So I
Right.
say over the last like 7, 8 years as a business owner, I've never failed before. I've just learned and kind of succeeded. Do you relate to that at all in terms of sort of the risk part of it, but also the failure part of it where like I'm not failing, I'm just kind of learning a little bit.
Exactly. Yeah. No, totally. Even if it may feel like a fail, if you will,
Yeah.
I think the best thing to do is just to learn from those mistakes.
Yeah.
I I was lost my first year. I mean, I was doing this all on my own, 100% on my own.
Hmm.
And it was up until I literally saw rep leads and came across you guys that I was like, okay, you know what? I need to take initiative on like if I want to succeed, if I want to like get out of these slumps, these failures, I need to do something about it. That's when I came to you guys and really like it's helped me feel that confidence. It's helped me learn the lessons I need to learn. You've taught me more than I could have ever imagined. But to even go to go even further with that, as far as like when you were saying about taking risks or going into offices, and you may not even know if people are going to buy something from you. What I love to live by is a quote that says, "People don't buy what you do; they buy why you do it."
Yeah.
Right? They're not going to buy the product. Okay,
Yep.
they're going to buy why you're doing it. So if you don't have the mindset of like the confidence of, okay, I'm going to help. I'm out here to help people today. No, I'm
Hmm.
here to make some money today. Right?
Yeah.
I'm here to help people. Right? I'm here to do my job. Right?
Yeah.
The reward comes after. Don't worry about
100%.
don't worry about the money. The reward comes after.
I love it, dude. I
Right?
couldn't agree with you more. And we're going to be wrapping up here, but I'll give you just a quick compliment. I haven't even told you. But so I, as you know, we help people build out the CRMs and all that good stuff. And the first thing that we do is send out a current client outreach to everybody just to make sure that we understand the system, all that stuff.
Mhm.
And we try and get around like a 50% open rate on that. And when we sent yours out, and this kind of goes into the customer service side of stuff, the responses and the open rate and everything, like how much your clients love you it was the most impressive that we've ever seen. Of the hundreds of people that we've done it for, your clients fucking love you, dude. And that goes a really long way.
Right.
And I think that's a huge part of why you're so successful. So,
I appreciate it.
congrats on everything. You're absolutely crushing it, dude. Is there anything else that you want to say? Anything else that maybe a cool thing that's happening soon, or are you just grinding right now and hoping that things go
Yeah,
well?
yeah, absolutely grinding right now. No, I appreciate you asking me these questions and stuff and having me here. But no, I think for anyone that's looking to succeed in life, it's not about the money. It's
Yeah.
about It's about the relationships. It's about who you know. You may fall into a niche that you may have never even imagined. I had no idea. In fact, I was going to law school. I was going to be in law school. I was going to be a lawyer. I've got plenty of connections to get me to law school, and that's what I was going to do. Photography was a hobby of mine, and I
Hmm.
loved it, right? It was a passion. It wasn't something that I ever could have imagined I made a living off of. But the reason why you can succeed at it is because you love it. And
Yeah.
people truly are going to notice that if you go out there and you make a relationship with them and just crush it. So,
I love it, dude. I love it, dude. Well, thank you again for your time today. I know you're
absolutely.
super busy, and we'll meet soon. We'll set up a meeting soon.
Absolutely. Okay, man.
All right.